start with a kind of a wild idea. What if the internet wasn't owned by a handful of giant corporations, but by you, by everyone? That's the huge idea behind World Mobile, and today we're going to break down how their user-owned network could completely change the game. But to really get why this new approach is so desperately needed, we first have to talk about a massive problem, one that, despite all our incredible technology, is still with us today. We're talking about the Great Digital Divide. I mean, seriously, it's a shocking question to even have to ask, isn't it? We're living in an age of instant everything. Yet for a massive part of the human population, the online world might as well be on another planet. So why is that? Well, here's the answer in one absolutely staggering number: 3 billion. That's how many people are still unconnected to the internet. And look, that's not just a statistic. That's billions of people cut off from education, modern healthcare, commerce, basic connection to the rest of the world. And this really puts it all into perspective. The United Nations itself says that internet access is a key enabler of human rights. So we're not talking about a luxury here. We're talking about a fundamental tool for just participating in the modern world. And the current system, well, it's clearly failed to deliver it to everyone. So how in the world do you solve a problem that trillions of dollars and the biggest tech companies on Earth couldn't fix? Well, World Mobile's answer is to just flip the entire model on its head. They're building a user-owned network. It's basically the sharing economy, but for telecommunications. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old model. Big, centralized towers, all owned by corporations. It's expensive, and it expands at a snail's pace. But on the right, you see the World Mobile idea, a decentralized web of users who build the network from the ground up, growing organically wherever people actually need it. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? How does data get from the network all the way to the phone in your hand? Well, it all starts, like we said, from the ground up with a 3-layer system of physical hardware. All right, let's follow the data's journey. It all starts with the air nodes. These are the local access points that literally anyone can host for their community. From there, all that traffic flows to the breadth nodes. You can think of these as the traffic managers of the network, making sure everything is running smoothly. And finally, it all connects back to the earth nodes. These are the big brains of the operation, processing transactions and securing the entire network. Now, behind all that physical hardware, there's this invisible but incredibly powerful operating system. This is the blockchain layer. It's the digital brain that makes this whole decentralized network possible, secure, and totally transparent. It all begins on layer 1, Ethereum. The best way to think about this is as the bedrock, right? The fundamental foundation of trust for the whole system. It's like a national highway system that is just incredibly robust and secure. But even the most secure highway can get totally jammed with traffic. And that's where Layer 2 comes in. World Mobile uses Base, which is like a high-speed express lane built right on top of Ethereum. It bundles up transactions, letting them be processed way, way faster and for a tiny fraction of the cost, all while still getting its security from that main highway. And this is where it gets really specialized. On top of that express lane is Layer 3, the World Mobile Chain. This is like a custom-built lane on that highway that is designed for one thing and one thing only: telecom data. It's perfectly optimized for the incredible speeds and low lag you need for things like voice calls and streaming video. And this chart right here shows you exactly why that special lane is such a game changer. I mean, look at the difference. A traditional blockchain might be able to handle maybe 15 transactions per second. The World Mobile Chain, it's capable of over 700. This isn't just a small improvement. This is the kind of performance leap that makes running a real-time telecom network on a blockchain actually possible. So, we've got the physical network and we've got the blockchain brain. But what fuels it all? What incentivizes people to actually go out and build and run this network? And what's the next big step? The answer is the World Mobile Token, or WMT. This is the economic engine of the whole ecosystem. When people operate nodes, provide coverage, and help secure the network, they get rewarded with WMT. It's the incentive that makes this whole sharing economy spin. And the economic design behind this is really clever. That red line shows that the rewards are highest at the very beginning. That's totally intentional. It's designed to heavily incentivize the early adopters, the first people to get the network off the ground. Then, over 20 years, those rewards gradually decrease as the network becomes self-sustaining from user fees. It's built for long-term stability. So this ground-up model is fantastic for towns and villages. But what about the really hard-to-reach places? The vast, remote areas where even deploying a local air node is a huge challenge. How do you connect them? And here's the answer. And it is awesome. The stratospheric layer. Yeah, we're talking about hydrogen-powered unmanned aircraft flying for days at a time, way up in the atmosphere. And get this, a single one of these can do the work of 500 traditional cell towers. It beams low-latency 5G directly to a standard phone, no special equipment needed. And it's all fueled by clean hydrogen, so it only emits water vapor. It's just an incredibly elegant solution for covering huge areas. Which brings us right back to that big question we started with. From a local air node in a small village to a high-altitude aircraft in the stratosphere, it's all part of the same vision. It asks us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about how our digital world gets built. Could the future of the internet truly be taken out of the hands of a few corporations and placed into the hands of everyone?